Now, there is a competition coming up in the next few days, which is to decide whether you'd like to be a city. You don't have to have a cathedral to become a city nowadays. And next year, to mark the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations, we're going to get another one. This competition to join the hallowed ranks. You don't need to be an upwardly mobile town to enter, which is why the borough of Tower Hamlets has joined the race.
33 local authorities, including the ancient anomalies of the City of London and the City of Westminster, make up the capital. Now the borough of Tower Hamlets has announced it wants to have city status too. The borough is a diverse, multicultural and multiracial place encompassing areas such as Whitechapel and Bethnal Green and the booming business sector in Docklands.
Canary Wharf, one of the commercial centres of London and an area that has a very clearly defined sense of itself. So why does it feel the need to back Tower Hamlets' bid for city status?
City status is really about how a place feels about itself. Does it feel that it's a town, part of somewhere else, or a small place with perhaps, looking inwardly, or is it a big international cosmopolitan centre? I think Tower Hamlets has come of age. It really is that sort of big international centre now. It's about time, really, that the East End of London was able to stand up and look the West End in the eye and say, we are the equal of Westminster, we're just as big, we're just as important, we're just as confident, and we've got just as much spirit.
Fashionable Brick Lane in the heart of Tower Hamlets. What do people who shop and live around here think of Tower Hamlets applying for city status?
I'm not convinced. I'm actually from Sunderland and it was recently given city status and I've heard so much negative feedback about it that it's been not potentially sort of more trouble than it's worth, but the benefits just aren't there.
I think it's got a strong identity and I think it deserves to be recognised as having that kind of distinct personality.
Very bizarre. I mean, if every borough in London becomes a city, what makes Tower Hamlets so special?
There is competition for city status in the South East. Southend, Chelmsford, Luton and Croydon are all bidding. But should Tower Hamlets prevail, will it be an empty honorific or overdue recognition for an historic, rich and diverse area of London?
Jerry Thomas reporting there. Joining me, one of the champions for Tower Hamlets' bid, the Labour MP for Poplar and Limehouse, Jim Fitzpatrick. And fighting on behalf of Luton, Luton's bid, Councillor Roy Davies, Cabinet Member for Regeneration. Thanks for joining us. Jim Fitzpatrick, this is a competition, a race for towns. Stay out of it.
Well, if that was the case, then we wouldn't have the City of London, we wouldn't have the City of Westminster. As Howard Dobber from Canary Wharf said in his piece, this is about rebalancing the centre of London. And of course, Tower Hamlets has almost 1,000 years of connection with the Tower of London. We house the Crown Jewels. We have the right to fly Royal Ensign, the white ensign at St Anne's and Limehouse, the red ensign at St Dunstan's and Stepney, the blue ensign at St Peter's and Canary Wharf. We have real royal connections, and this is about celebrating Her Majesty's Jubilee. So it's about not just what she's going to give us, it's about us saying we have connections with the royal household.
You've rehearsed this presentation well, isn't it? But in terms of identity, does it make a difference? I mean, do Londoners think of themselves in terms ever of their boroughs? I mean, that's the issue here, isn't it?
Well, I think there is a borough identity, and certainly we have the Olympics in East London next year, and the 5 Olympic boroughs have created an Olympic borough identity, and Tower Hamlets is one of the 5 Olympic boroughs. And as Howard Dobber said, Canary Wharf is the economic driver. It's the engine which has been pushing London forward for the past 20 years and is going to continue for the next 20 years. So it's about recognising Tower Hamlets in a historic context, but also in a 21st century context, as well as the diverse community that we have in Tower Hamlets.
Roy Davies, your launch or your bid is underway. What, Loving Luton is the slogan, is it?
Love Luton is the slogan. I'm wearing the badge.
What difference would this make for you? Why would it be so important for this to happen to you?
Well, it's important for us because it gives us that extra sense of pride that drives on the things that we're doing anyway. We have got a long history too. Why shouldn't they bid if they want to? But you do actually have to demonstrate that you function as a city, and that means you function as a city with a hinterland. In fact, you're a regional city, as in our case, so you provide services for people outside your area as well. and Luton's got a long history going back probably 4,000 years of welcoming people in. I don't think the Romans particularly came into that category, but more recently, over the past 150, 200 years, we welcome people from all over the world, a very diverse society.
And what would it mean? What in practical terms would be the difference be? And thus, how do you get local people to sort of rally around this bid and get excited by it?
Certainly they have rallied round. We lost count of these badges when we got to 10,000. So, I mean, it really is a popular bid from everybody in Luton, and Team Luton is behind everything, including all our local business people like EasyJet and Vauxhall and General Motors.
And is that one of the main issues here, and it perhaps applies to both of you? It's about like inward investment, is it?
Well,
is
inward
getting
investment is important, and if you look at the results that people have got who've achieved this in the past, then clearly you would expect that to happen. That's important for us. I've got about £700 million worth on the ground now, but that's nowhere near enough. I want more.
Well, I could see the argument for that, Jim Fitzpatrick, for an identity like Luton. But Canary Wharf, everyone knows what Canary Wharf is. Everyone knows that business coming to settle here, finance either goes to the City of London or it goes to Canary Wharf. How does Tower Hamlets gain here?
I think Tower Hamlets gains by branding and by recognition, as Roy says, and the degree of status that it affords the local authority, the ability to project oneself onto the world stage. Canary Wharf is an international brand. To be able to promote Tower Hamlets as a city,
dependent on the city, would you? What about the other side of the? What about the little people?
It's not just Canary Wharf. We have the city fringe around the city corporation, and we're building the corridor between Whitechapel and Canary Wharf. This will help create or continue the momentum. It will give us more impetus to make sure that we can advise and attract more businesses to come into the east of London. And with the showcase that will be the Olympics next year, it's a perfect platform for us.
Give us an idea of, secret weapon, how you're going to try and win this one, Roy.
Well, the secret weapon is that we're going to be up front and say this is where we are and this is where we're going. I'm sorry to say we just nicked the Daily Express from you, and I'm sure, yes, we have. They've just relocating to Luton as well. Lots of people have spent lots of money to relocate because of location. You can get from Luton on the train quicker than to London than you can across London. So from our point of view, we have all the benefits, but we are the sort of city which people will recognise as such.
To both of you, thanks very much. We'll watch that competition with interest.